Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very short and impromptu session of Wine and Reason, but today is not International Atheist Day. So I just wanted to throw a couple of thoughts out there. Way more people than I, and frankly, better spoken and definitely better prepared folks, did a lot of videos for today. A lot of folks out of the ACA, the Atheist Community of Austin, and so on and so forth, have put out a lot of great videos. And please, if you haven't, go check them out. Oh my gosh, Dave, I swear you don't sleep. That has to be it. Anyway, hi, Dave. Lovely to see you. Anyway, I just wanted to say happy Infant. And I wanted to, oh, hi, honey. And I wanted to say also that I'm very lucky. I am the only atheist in my family, and my entire family, my slew of nieces and nephews, my very, very staunchly Christian siblings, they all accept me for who I am. My extended family, my aunts, my uncles, they all accept me for exactly who I am. They're lovely. The only people in my life who don't know that I no longer believe in any gods or goddesses are my parents. And that was a difficult decision. The thing is, I figured, hey, Angie, I figured all of this out very late. I was 40. It was not long after my 40th birthday that I was listening to Tim Minchin do a bit making fun of religious Christians. And at the time, I hadn't been a Christian since I read the Bible when I was 17. And I went from there to neo-paganism because it was the 90s, and that's kind of what we did. So, I didn't consider myself an atheist. I did briefly when I was around 33, but I was kind of being forced into it by my first husband, and then we got divorced, and it was just a whole mess, and I couldn't, it was like I had to put a pin in it for a while. Like, I can't deal with that much right now because I'm dealing with the fact that I have $100 in my pocket and all of my possessions fit into my car and a friend's pickup, and where am I going to live? So I was dealing with very much more, non-esoteric concerns in the moment. But then, later, after things had settled down and I met my lovely second husband, and we were already together, and married, I was listening to this bit by Tim Minchin. He was making fun of Christians, and I'm laughing along. I'm like, Christians, fucking stupid. And then, yeah, rather egotistically, by the way, because I don't think all Christians are stupid. Please know that. But then he started making fun of New Agey stuff. And I realized very quickly, it's not fun to be the butt of the joke. And then I thought to myself, well, you did this with Catholicism. I mean, the whole reason that I read the Bible at 17 was because I was having issues with some of the dogmatic notions of the Catholic Church, like the fact that I was supposed to grow up and either be celibate and single, or celibate and clergy, like a nun or a cloistered nun or a sister, or I was supposed to get married and have as many babies as possible for Jesus. And I didn't know that I wanted to be a mom. I wasn't sure yet. I later discovered that, Amiga Nuts, hello. I later discovered that I didn't want to be a mom at all. At all. And now I have very good medical reasons for that. So I definitely made my instincts were correct. And also to all of you out there who are moms, thank you so much. You're amazing. I'm certainly glad I exist. I hope your children have thanked you for going through everything you went through to bring them into the world. and so on and so forth. But for me, it would have been bad. It would not have been a good thing. Okay, so where was I? Right. So I listened to this thing about that Tim was saying about critical thinking, and I thought to myself, all right, I teach critical thinking. I was a professor at the time of freshman composition, sophomore lit, and remedial English at a couple of different at one state university and at a community college. And I was like, okay, I do this. I do this for a living. I'm a critical thinker. Let me apply those same critical thinking skills that I did when I read the Bible at 17. And I didn't read it as some kind of mystical love letter from the God of the universe. I read it like we read the book of Job in my public school AP English class, where my teacher made it very clear that we were not reading this as a call to religion. We were reading it as the Bible as literature. And if you've really studied the book of Job, like we did, whew, that is a fucked up book, y'all. I can't wait till Job Library gets to it. And you haven't gotten, no, I don't think he's gotten to it yet. I cannot wait, because it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites because it's so fucked up. Okay, sorry for the language. Actually, no, I'm not. Y'all know how I talk. Anyway, point is, so I think I need to, apply these same critical thinking skills to the beliefs I had then about a few gods and goddesses that I reckoned had just sort of, evolved with the earth just like we did, but they were sort of in my head like more evolved than we were and still existed. And I'd sort of, picked my own cafeteria style pantheon from some of the ancient Greek gods and some of the Roman gods, but not Zeus, because he raped a lot of women and I don't worship rapists, so fuck that guy, and so on and so forth. But definitely Bastet from ancient Egypt, Bast from ancient Egypt. Bastet actually means dwelling place or city of Bast. Bast was the cat goddess, and because I had cats, so definitely Bast. And also, several others, Hecate, the goddess of witches, things like that. And we would do rituals, and I believed in fairies because I thought I saw one once. It was a whole thing. And this was the cornerstone of my community and social life and friend group in my college years and beyond, like in my 20s and early 30s, that very important stuff. And I read tarot cards. Oh yeah, I did. I never charged for it. I was what actual stage magicians call a shut-eye, which is someone who thinks they actually have magical powers. Like they honestly don't believe they're bilking anyone for anything, and they usually don't charge for it. Those are two of the hallmarks. They really think they just can read tea leaves or can read tarot cards. But the funny thing is like, I remember doing this for people, doing readings for people, and they only went well if I knew the person really well. Funny how that works. If I didn't know the person at all, it didn't go well at all. And I would also tell people, the cards aren't going to tell you anything that you don't already know. So there's a nice safety net, right? It's like, okay, well, yeah. So 2 days. That's pretty much all it took. It took basically 48 hours of me applying critical thinking skills to all of my new agey woo beliefs for all of them to just completely fall away. And I realized, oh, wow, no, I'm an atheist. I was just too scared of that word before to really accept it or use it or apply it. And then I was really freaking angry at all the time I'd wasted and all the stupid books I'd bought and insane things that I'd done. I mean, seriously, we're talking about like rituals naked under the full moon out in the country, full on, and enjoy that image. It's just, imagine me 40 pounds lighter and in my 20s, and you can do what you want with that because I said it. But there you go. So yeah, that's where I was. And then I was sad, and I was for a minute, and then I was angry for a long time. And Now I'm 42 and we're facing a global pandemic, and I am happier than I've ever been in my life. I'm more settled than I've ever been in my life. I think I am, my mental well-being is better than it's ever been. Now that is a slightly separate issue. A lot of that has to do with finally finding the right group of medications that work for me, and also I did 2.5 years of cognitive behavioral therapy, sessions every week for 2.5 years. So I did the work to get to this place. Oh, okay. So Amiga Nut says, "What? Not fair. It took me a decade." Well, I got distracted by divorce and stuff, so that's fine. I mean, we all get here when we get here. Don't feel bad. I've heard, I started listening to the Thinking Atheist obsessively when I first deconverted from everything spiritual, and I believed in ghosts and all of that stuff. So from everything spiritual and supernatural related, and I remember how Seth Andrews would like almost constantly listening to these early broadcasts of his. I was listening to the backlog, right? The back category, not his newer stuff, and he would constantly like sort of berate himself. He'd say, "Well, I was the guy who, until I was, 38, thought the donkeys could talk," and things like that. And I mean, he was being honest, but at the same time, like I was like, dude, be nice to yourself. And I was 40 and I believed in fairies. Like, it's okay. Like, it's weird. The world is weird. So, all right. So I'm gonna see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then let's see. Angie says, "Haha, I would, but I can't find all the pics and videos." Oh, really? What are we talking about? I don't even know. Oh yeah, there's an Ask Granny episode, says Junk Shop Library. Granny, tell us about your ghost hunting days. Oh, I totally did that. Angie, if you ever ghost hunted, we need to talk, because I've done it. And when it comes to tea leaves, yeah, I learned to read those too. I used to go to neo-pagan festivals, and learned a lot of stupid, non-existent stuff. Yes, please. Oh, thank you, Junk Shop, coming back. So yeah, that's the very short, brief Cliff's Notes or Sparks Notes version of my deconversion. Other than that, I just wanted to briefly wish you all a very happy International Atheist Day. Junk Shop is saying, "Oh, just riff about your experience for 10 minutes. Maybe make it Patreon exclusive." Oh, that's a good idea. For those of you who have Patreons, do that. Totally. I kind of feel like I'm just blabbering now, so I thank you so much, the 4 of you who found this with absolutely no notice. That's lovely. And so tonight I'm going to say Happy International Atheist Day. And please remember, you won't find truth in wine, but you can find it in reason. Love from Memphis, y'all. Touchpad. I hate you so much.